Hi, everyone. Welcome to DBC Inc. Live Thursday Night PD and a free book giveaway. We have a lot of exciting books that we can give away today with our extreme author, amazing author, pumping out some books. Jon Corippo in the house today. Welcome.
Hi, Tara.
So excited to have you and so excited for all of you that are joining in tonight. Be sure to put your name over in the comment section. That is how you're entered to win that free book. And we don't want to give it away to Dave. I mean, he already has some and he can't be
I'm
the
wearing
only one there.
I'm wearing my do rag for Dave.
Dave, do you like that? Do you like that hat, that bandana that Jon has on? He's rocking it. Edgy protocols for the win. Yes, we will be talking about some edgy protocols. Jon's going to share some cool stuff with us in a few minutes, but just a few little housekeeping. Make sure your name gets over in the comment section both tonight and tomorrow. You will have all day tomorrow to get it over there. So if you're putting babies to bed, we understand and we love you too. And we want you to be able to enter to win a free book too. But for now, I'm going to let Jon Corippo share his awesomeness, introduce himself. He is an educator. He's a jack of all trades. He is pumping out some edgy protocols books. We have 3 with him already. We have 1 coming out really soon. And Dave wants us to pick him for the free book. No, sir.
Have Wendy just send him some books. It's that easy.
It's that easy. It's that easy. Hey, Amy, welcome.
Hi, Amy.
So, Jon, I will let you take over. Tell us a little bit about what you're up to, what your day looks like now that, and what you're doing, your role in education, and then
Yeah.
maybe sneak a little peek about this new book we have coming.
Well, yeah, that sounds good. And if anybody that doesn't know me, just like quick bio. This is year 26 in teaching. I did about 10 years at the K-8 level. I did 5 or 6 years at the high school level. Got to open a high school from scratch. That was like one-to-one MacBooks years before people were doing that. And then I ran an educational nonprofit called Q here in California, Nevada for a while. But then last year I said, you know what? I'm getting close to 60 years old and I'm going to do this for the rest of my career. I should go back to the classroom and really see if these things, are current and work and get a feel for what's going on in the classroom. So last year I went and taught sixth grade full time and loved it and walked right into the middle of COVID.
Oh,
And so just really had a good handle on what was going on in teaching, tried out a lot of new things and made some new protocols and really solidified and clarified some things in my mind. And so then after last year, I'm now officially doing Edge Protocols full time. So I'm working with 3 large districts in California and several other districts throughout the nation. I just went to India to do some Edge Protocols for them, and it's been really cool. It's really fun. And if anybody doesn't know what protocols are, basically our mantra is teach better and work less. And it sounds crazy, Kristen. As long as you brought your tardy pass, no problems. I'm being late, not a problem.
welcome. We're glad
Uh,
you're here.
exactly. That's what my friend David Terrio said that on Twitter. He said after 25 years in the classroom, when kids come in late, I just say, "I'm glad you're here." Right?
Yeah,
Like I'd rather
yeah,
you be here than not.
yeah,
Anyways,
exactly.
so our mantra at Edge Protocols is teach better, work less. Meaning, when you're using protocols, kids are going to be growing 25 to 40% per class period, like dramatic growth. And also, you'll be doing less grading, less lesson planning, and everything's up to date. So it seems like the incredible paradox. It's impossible. And yeah, and Dave did. He came when I was in Mariposa. Dave set the place on fire, literally. It's a long story. But Dave also said this. He said, he's read the books and he's followed my journey right from the very beginning. And he said, Edge protocols are like the the golden fleece, like the
The Holy
impossible
Grail.
thing, the holy
Yeah,
grail. Like it's
that's what
the
he
thing,
says.
whatever your mystical thing is. Protocols allow you to engage kids the way you wanted to not spend weekends grading, and still scores are going up dramatically.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it in the nutshell. And I love people in the chat who just threw out requests. Yeah, and it totally works in kindergarten. So this is the thing. Protocols are all research based. So like my co-author and myself, Marlena Hebern, we have years of experience in Marzano, in Hattie, in Fullen, in Kagan, in Buck, in PBL. And what we've done is taken all that experience and kind of made a new thing, if that makes sense, right? So we've got a lot going on that it works at all grade levels. In fact, Tara, one of the things I've been doing this year that's been really fun with the districts that I work with is, and I should grab Dave one time in SoCal. I go and I take over classrooms and I just roll in on a bunch of TK kids and I'm like, hey, we're gonna do some math reps and I'm gonna teach you guys how to do Blook It, and it's really really fun. It's so gratifying to be able to demonstrate for teachers how this works, and nothing works better than coming in and taking over somebody's class and watching their kids grow like crazy, and then they're like, oh my gosh, and it's so easy. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. Love teaching, love pedagogy. I love ed tech, but for me, ed tech's just a tool. The magic is in the teaching and the relationships with kids.
I love it. And I think you do such a great job. And edu protocols are so I feel like they're just so applicable. Every single
Right.
page, you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. And I saw Monica asking about kindergarten, and you immediately said this works for kindergarten. It works
Boom.
for any grade level, any content area. And what I love so much about edu protocols is, one, the way they're laid out in the book. It's easy to understand. Like you
Hmm.
read it, you figure it out, you
Right.
implement your content into the protocol, and you end up engaging your students, get way higher percentage of engagement,
Yep.
which, higher engagement means more learning, more application, more retention of that content. So later when they're taking a test, when you're reviewing to see if they know what you just taught them, the chances of them retaining that content is so much higher. And that's why Jon was talking about these scores go up, and they're proven to
Yep.
go up. It's all about the process of getting the kids to learn the material. It's the
Yeah.
delivery
And the
of
key is
how you
making the
are
kids
showing.
work. Making the kids work. Like in
Yes,
20, it took me about 18 years to realize that if the kids are honestly working, not fake working, but if they're honestly working and honestly trying, they have to grow. It's impossible to not grow if you're
right.
trying, right? Which is
Well,
a
and
lot
they're
like your book,
excited
right? It's
about
like Cannonball In. If you're doing things, you're going to get better. So I'll give two quick examples because
it. Yeah.
I don't want to go too far on this. I don't mind giving them away for free. I'm famous for free lifetime tech support. Um, but I want to give two quick like vignettes. One is this: how many teachers do you see that use Blookit, Quizzes, Kahoot, GimKit? Those are very common, but almost everybody, in my experience, is using them incorrectly. Almost everybody's using them correctly. Here's what I'm talking about. Oh, we used Kahoot to review for the quiz. How many times you do it? Oh, we like to do GimKit on Wednesdays. And so what teachers are doing is they're adding these other tools to their flow. Here's what I did last year. I'm not doing the crossword. I'm not doing the word search. I'm not doing the PDF. I'm not doing the lecture. Here is the quiz. Let's roll. And then what we would do is take the quiz twice a day with a little feedback in between. And so, like on Blookit, for example, which is wildly popular, Blookit, the default is 7 minutes. What I do is I give my kids 3 minutes. They get through the 15 words 2 or 3 times. Then I use Blookit to immediately correct and give feedback, and then we play again for 3 minutes. So in only a little more time than your kids played once, my kids have played twice. It's so smooth. It's just a little life hack there. And GimKit's the same kind of thing where the kids are doing question, question, question over and over again. So that's the first basic protocol, page 12 on book one. We call that one the fast and the curious because it's quick feedback, it's quick grading, and I'm not going to stand there and do this. The next vocabulary word is collaboration. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to go for it. And then over 2, 3, 4 days, you'll see the kids class average will hit 88, 92, 96%. It works great for timed math, geometric shapes, stuff like that. And then some teachers, like you were saying, Tara, some people will say, well, that's really cool and the scores are really high, but do they retain it? Because we've done that 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, they're getting so many exposures that they're moving it from short term to long term memory. So that's one of them. The Fast and the Curious doesn't matter whether you like Blookit, Gimkit. For my kindergarten friend, check out wordwall.net. Wordwall.net. It's draggables, 28 million activities, CVC words, blends, arrays, all kinds of cool stuff in wordwall.net. They're all great. And yeah, I love when the teachers play along and look at like Amy's playing. Amy, if you like that, in Gimkit there's a mode called Boss Battle where one kid or teacher takes on everybody. It's awesome. It's so cool. So that's really good stuff. So that's one of our protocols, but that's really a proto protocol because it's not a lot of creativity, right? Kids are just memorizing, kids are just memorizing. And I've had teachers say this, Tara, well, aren't they just memorizing? Dude, I've been waiting my whole career for them to memorize.
Exactly.
What time is it? What
There's
are
so
these
many
Latin
things
roots?
we have to
Yeah, there's
memorize.
lots to
Yeah,
remember. There's tons to remember.
exactly. That's a
So,
good life
and you're
lesson.
yeah, and you're welcome, Amanda, because as a sixth grade teacher, I know that if first and second does a better job, my year will be better in sixth grade. So it's good for everybody, right? The other one, if people have ever heard of a KWL, and I'm probably sure almost everybody's gotten a KWL lesson plan in their teaching class, well, that's a cool thing, except for a couple of things. Watch this. When a KWL, if I ask 7-year-old Dave Burgess, what do you want to know about volcanoes? He's like, why did they blow up? And I'm like, anything else? Nope, that's it. Just why did they blow up? And so what I do is we do a KWL activity, except we add Google Slides. So follow this. Everybody's going to make one slide. And I would say, 7-year-old Dave Burgess, what type of volcano did you like? Now Dave can get in there and he can Google types of volcanoes and he puts one picture and one word. This works just as great with kindergarten as it does. Yeah, how hot is lava? There you go, Dave. Now you're in business. You can look it up in Google Images, and then you're on your way. So a thin slide goes like this: one picture, one word, 3 minutes to build it. Four, maybe for the littles, a little more for the littles. And then each person makes a claim, observation, or explains their reasoning for picking their picture. So it's a KWL, but like I think you know Alice Keeler. Alice, I think, started this phrase that says, let's teach like the internet exists. So why put the kids in a circle and then make them just use their brain? So you can do a thin slide with things like perpendicular, parallel, molarity, reverse osmosis, sarcophagus, like any of those vocab words. And here's what happens: it's really small magic. 30 kids have made one slide in 3 minutes. 30 kids each share for about 4 seconds apiece. 30 different looks at parallel, 30 different looks at canopic jars. And it's such a rich experience for the kids. So it's just those kinds of little twists that are really, really fun. And so we've got about 40 protocols in the three existing books that work like that.
And they are incredible. I love this too. I wonder, John, when I have students make book snaps for the first time, we use Google
Hmm.
Slides and we have them all in one slideshow. And I'm kind of thinking your CER, is that what you call it? CER? Do you call it
Yeah,
that?
that's one
Okay.
example.
Yeah. I'm kind of wondering if your CER would work the same, that they all create, like you said, but then with book snaps, the first time they create a book snap, everybody's looks different. We all just read the
Right.
same piece, but what they took out of it
Yeah, which is the
always a little
great
bit.
thing about book snaps is they're not just fill in the blanks. We're thinking.
Right. It's like, and they're using images to represent their visualization. Same
Right.
though, similar with your concept with this vocabulary and then explaining the rationale and why did you choose that picture and why, and then
Yep.
using that slideshow as a precursor to the lesson. Like, or the finisher. Like maybe you taught it and
Yeah.
you're checking for
It could be
understanding.
an exit. Like I've seen teachers do
Intro.
this. Hey,
Yeah.
we just did this thing. Give me your favorite explorer and the reason you picked them. Boom, boom. So it's a really quick turnaround, and kids love that feedback, right? And
I
so
love
then,
it. And I
like,
love the idea
in
of the parallel lines just like got me so excited.
yeah,
Like how
yeah, because
many
I don't
pictures?
care how good of a math teacher you are. Nobody wants a lecture on parallel.
No.
But all the kids need to know. See, there's those little areas everybody
Mhm.
needs to know, but it's not something I want to stand there and talk about. And so it's a lot like a book snap. And then we've got another protocol called Sketch and Tell. So yeah, and it's a lot like a Frayer. A Frayer is another great
Love
example,
to
right?
get out.
The thing
Yes.
I love about Frayers and Chromebooks is everybody's Frayer looks a little different, right?
Yes.
Everybody's Frayer looks a little. If all I have is one textbook and we Frayer, that's pretty boring to grade.
Right.
But if we have a Chromebook, the Frayers are just boom. And Sean, since you're being so active, I'm going to pay you back with a thing right now that we call Word Up Wednesday. It's a competitive Frayer. Two teams. Dig this. You got the definition, you got three antonyms, three synonyms, a meme, a GIF, a historical picture, and you got four kids working in each team to build that as fast as we can. And that shout out
Ooh.
to Coach Stevens for taking the Frayer and making that into Word Up Wednesday, which is also great remediation because it's called Word Up Wednesday because it's based on the 4 or 5 words kids were struggling with in booklet on Monday and Tuesday. So that's how agile this can be, right? Monday, Tuesday, we do it. Teacher notes these words we're struggling with. Boom, here comes Word Up Wednesday. Collaborative teamwork. Oh my gosh, it's just magic.
Love it. I'm ready to get in the classroom. I'm ready to do some of these. Um,
Yeah,
these are great.
yeah.
He
Ryan, Coach Stevens is awesome.
That's awesome. Well, we have a lot of protocol fans over here. It looks like Kristen's actually tried some, done some. She's a fan. She's a believer, edu protocol believer already.
Awesome.
Awesome. Well, I saw Dave ask a question, John, that
Oh,
you
yeah,
might
what's
want to
coming up in
share a little bit.
2022? Mm.
Hmm.
So, one of the questions we get with people like Sean and the true believers is they say, look, these protocols are working great for me as an individual. But I want my friends to use them. So, a person named Kim Vogie, who's pretty cool,
She's
and
so cool.
if you guys like free stuff, on Facebook there is a group called Empower Adventure. Both are with E. Empower Adventure. There's about 4,000 teachers in there, and Kim is like the lead administrator on that. And they're just people are dishing protocols and saying, "Oh, I made this. What do you guys think?" And like it's crazy. Like Saturday night, people are like, "I need something for Monday. What do you got?" And people are like, "I got this and I got this." It's like baseball cards or Disney pins, right? So
Yes.
4,000 teachers in there doing that. Well, Kim has been she's actually bought one of the first books when it came out, and she was at our first presentation at ISTE. So Kim has been an early adopter, and then Kim moved from being a TOSA like myself. She went back to the classroom. And so she's lived that. And so the idea of Kim's book is called Deploying Edge Protocols. So if you're a TOSA or a principal and you're like, oh my gosh, these are so easy, why don't teachers use them? Kim's got it all laid out, the strategies. Like, here's how it aligns to Marzano. Here's how it aligns to UDL. Here's how it aligns to SEL. Here's how to plan the perfect week. She's got that all organized. And if you know Kim, she's awesome at making tables how to do these things. So if you're a teacher who wants your friends to adopt, it shows you ways to convince them it's worth a try. If you're a principal or a superintendent or a TOSA, it shows you things like this. Follow this, Tara. Imagine I'm the principal at your school. You come to the staff meeting, and I've got Sean over there doing small group stations of Word Up Wednesday. And then you look over, and there's Dave Burgess running how to do thin slides for your math class. And then you've got Lucy doing how to do, let's say, thick slides. And so we show you how to do things like running your staff meeting as stations, and then all the stations are protocols. The uptake is really fast. So that's Kim's book, which is we're just in final editing and we're getting really good feedback. And the idea is how to take protocols and use them in your district or school or just with your friends and all the things on the background. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's two or three entirely new protocols in there too. So it's a really nice addition to the family.
Big treat. And so our crew is often asking, we usually have quite a few instructional coaches over in or TOSAs, like over in the comments and asking, like, is this a great tool for instructional coaches? I would say
Hmm.
any of these books out here that you're looking at right now are
Yeah.
also, because as an instructional coach, you're going to get it right away. And if you have this opportunity, as John mentioned earlier, to jump in the classroom and model it, just like,
Yeah.
hey,
I'm gonna
let me
tell you
take
guys,
over for a minute. I need some good
nothing, nothing changes classrooms like you showing up. True story, Tara. I showed up in a classroom for a demo about 3 weeks ago, and it was a kindergarten classroom, which is not my strength. Anything under third grade terrifies me a little bit, even though I love them. So I'm already a little nervous. The teacher says we have an extra 7 kids today because a teacher's out. So there's 30 of them. And guess what? Within 10 minutes, we're doing math reps. Everybody's happy. And the teacher's like, oh my gosh, this totally works. And then I had them flip their math rep, and I said, if you think you've got the right answer, come up and write it under the document camera. Oh my gosh, here they come. I know this one. And then we switched from that into Blooket, and the teacher was like, "Oh, this could be dicey. There's a lot of letters in Blooket." And within 10 minutes, we had them playing Blooket, and then we played a second round, and they're running the store because we're doing cafe mode, and they're buying toast and doing all this stuff. And the teacher is like, "Wow, wow." This isn't even just my class. This is another random 7 kids shoved in and
Yeah.
they're totally doing it. So what she came away with is she got to see what was possible with her kids by just shifting the timing and the expectations. So if you're a person who's a tech coach or a TOSA, taking a protocol and going and doing it to the kids is like the number one thing that gets people going. It's like Dave will love this one. It's like having a crazy friend who takes you to a restaurant. You're like, I don't want to go to that restaurant. And they go, no, we're going. And it might take like 4 months to get to the restaurant, but then you get there and then you're like, you have one appetizer and you're like, what else do we have? Right. And you
Yeah,
just got to kind of get them over that little curve. And then, but
so
we've
true.
had, there's a principal I know, listen to this. He goes from class to class doing Fast and Curious in Blooket on the school rules, giving out prizes. You want to talk about principles, getting it done? That's what it looks like. What it doesn't look like is trucking all the kids to the gym and saying, be quiet for half an hour. But he's going room to room, having small group experiences. Crazy, crazy fun. Yeah, and Dave, you are the crazy friend. You're like, hey,
You're it.
John, you should write a book. And I'm like, I have never written a book. Yeah, it'll be fine. So, and then here
You
we
got
go.
this. Here we go. Let's do it. I agree
Let's
so
do
much
this.
with the modeling, though. I couldn't express that more. And
Yeah.
if you're looking for things to model, sometimes we're looking for these great strategies on Twitter. We're seeing just get one of the Edge of Protocol book. That's all you need. Grab one of them.
That's all you need.
Find one or two that you can do like easily and jump in those
And
classrooms
just
and
go room
model
to
for them.
room doing the same one. You can do
Yes,
like
do the
one a
same
month. You
one.
could say,
Yes.
I'm going to come and take your room for 20 minutes. We're going to do some thin slides. You just kick your feet up and watch the magic. And you come back in a month and you go, if you like thin slides, you're going to love thick slides.
Thick
And
slides.
you do one a month. And we try to
Protocol
give
of
them
month.
all. Yeah, and we
It's
try to give them all like a cutie pie name so the kids, like nobody ever gets excited when you send Venn diagram. Like, hey, we're gonna do a Venn diagram. The kids are like, oh. So we name them goofy things like Word Up Wednesday and the Fast and the Curious and Cyber Sandwich, and so that way the kids can remember them. But here's what's really cool: when the kids get going, like I know everybody's COVID teaching right now, so that means a lot of subs. Follow this, Tara. When you have a protocols classroom and you have a sub day, you can literally say this to the kids. What do you want to do tomorrow? And they're like, hey, how about a math rep on fractions? We haven't done that. How about a cyber sandwich on, how about two fast and curiouses? Can we do a fun one? Yeah, we'll do one on California missions and then something on Nickelodeon. The kids actually start to be able to plan the sub day. What?
Brilliant, right?
That's
Right?
huge. That is huge.
And they know the
And
protocol because
what's the
they've done it.
value SEL-wise? SEL-wise, they can participate in their learning.
Right. And then they know it. So then they can help the sub. You know what I'm saying? They've done it
Yep,
so many times that they can like help lead it. I love it. And there's so
exactly.
many great things
Exactly.
about Edu Protocols. If you have not checked them out and you're not convinced yet, we'll be convinced and go click the links. Dave has put them over in the comments. However, one of you tomorrow will win one of these books. You will get to choose. And so you'll win one of these. You will not win the new one. It's not out yet, but that's okay. Be on the lookout. There is a fourth book coming out, and you definitely want to check that out. Also, John, I know that they're going to start using these. These coaches over here are going to start modeling these. They're going to want to tag you if they don't already follow you.
They want
Who
to
should
do
they
that because they will invoke free lifetime tech support. I help people
tag?
nights, weekends, all the time. Love it.
Yes. So they're going to want to tag you, and they are going to need your handle and your hashtag. So what should they use?
Well, I think it was on screen at J Corippo. Pretty easy. My last name at J Corippo. That's my Twitter. And then the hashtag that's pretty much the hashtag everywhere, even on the TikTok side, is hashtag EduProtocol. And you're going to find stuff there. The best way, if you feel like you need support, though, is check out that Facebook group. You just go to Empower Adventure. David put the link in there earlier. I'm sure he'll pop that in. And then I'm gonna do some more teasers, Tara, some more teasers. So the
Oh,
fourth book is Deploying Edge Protocols. Okay, cool. The fifth book is going to be Edge Protocols for History and Social Science, and it's written by a college prep and an AP teacher. So it's going to be super advanced protocols. And then farther down the line, we're going to have some. It's Moeller. It's Moeller and Petrie. Yeah, you busted the rumor mill, Sean. Moeller and Petrie are building it, and it's about 98% done, and it's going to be spectacular because it's geared. It's think of all your favorite protocols, but now ramped to college prep and AP level. So
love
what
it.
can you do with some of them that are ramped? And then we're going to be working on AP English after that, and then there's a littles version, but I don't want to go too far into the future.
He's
So
way out
we're
there
going
in
to
the
start
future. I didn't know you were
optimizing.
going to tease so much goodness, man. If you
Oh
joined
yeah,
our
a lot
live
of
show
teasing.
tonight, you got a treat for sure. Well, John, it
Yep.
has been such a pleasure to visit with you, to hear you share so many great things, and also to share. Dave's like, "Come on, what are
Dave's like,
you
stop
doing?
it.
I didn't do it. You did. We're
Well,
just
me.
live. There's no backing out now. But you got
I
some
will just say
treats.
our littles version. The author will probably be by a guy who has 300,000 followers on Seesaw. Who has those kind of numbers?
I
So,
love it. I love it. Well, Edu Protocols, if you haven't been convinced already, if you're not a believer yet, please do grab a hold of one of these books. I promise that you will be able to take it and apply just about everything inside of it into your classroom immediately, and you will not be disappointed. I know, right? Sean, we're in trouble. I got to sign off here. But thank you, John, so much for joining us. We are just so honored to have you on the DBC Inc. team. You're such a valuable member of this family. And you always put out just stellar content that educators can take and apply in their life, and students can just ramp up their learning.
I'm going to
And
end where I
what more
started.
could
We
we
want to
want?
teach better. We want
Exactly.
scores to go up. We're not
Yes.
just here for existing through the year. And the second one is we want that weekend back. We want to
Yes.
teach better and work less. And that's
Work
always the
smarter.
guiding principle. If it doesn't make it better for kids and it's too hard for teachers, we're not doing it anymore. So
Yeah,
thank you for
that's
having me on. I much appreciate it.
yes. Well, we are, the pleasure is all mine. And thank you all for joining us tonight. Remember, don't forget the hook of the week. I need to put that up here real quick, John. I'm so sorry. A
Okay.
little,
Hi,
John, maybe
Kristen Conti. Thanks for the shout out.
you need to ad lib
Ignore
just a
me. I'm
second.
sidebarring.
No, I need you to sidebar. I'm outing. So almost forgot our announcements here. I just got so excited. But we do have a hook of the week this week, as we have every Wednesday, and we're hoping to see some of you using it out there. It's the involved audience hook. So how can you consistently keep your audience feeling involved? If you want to check out the link to our blog that goes into some details of questions that Dave used to ask himself as he was planning for this hook for his class, you can check it out. He'll drop that link over in the comments. I know he's awesome like that. And another thing Dave did, one of my favorite involved audience hooks that he did in his classroom is called the it's something chaos. It's like he basically takes
You
a
have me
group
at
of
chaos.
students. Yes, and choreographed chaos is what it's called. He
Okay.
takes a group of students and they know they're going to be a part of the lesson, but the rest of the students don't. So say it's like 3 or 4 of them.
Oh, yeah. You
And
got ringers.
it's like a flash mob, but on a
Yeah.
smaller scale, right? And then he gets started, and all of a sudden the kids are just like, what is happening right here? And yeah, choreographed chaos. It's so fun. So do check out the blog. It talks a little bit about Dave's choreographed chaos that he likes to do in his classroom, but there's so many ways to get our kids involved. Monica could probably help us with some call-in responses and different things like that. If you use the hook of the week, tag Dave. He loves seeing the pictures, hearing how you're using it in the classroom. And this
I've
is
got
something.
I've got an add-on for this
Go
one
for it.
that my
Go for
friend
it.
Sam Patterson said. I think you know Sam probably. He said this 5 years ago and it changed my life. Don't raise your hand. I'm calling on everybody. Think about that. Don't raise
Ooh,
your hand. I'm calling on everybody. And you can use so many tech tools. Flipgrid, right?
yes.
Socrative. There's so many ways. Don't popsicle sticks. Are you kidding me? That's lowbrow. That's easy. We're professionals. We have actual techniques, and I love this one from Dave. Consistently keep the audience feeling involved. Is give them a consistent voice. Keep
Yes.
everybody in. Hey, Kim's here. Hi, Kim. Thanks for joining.
Welcome. Welcome. We were just talking about you. Awesome. Well, thanks everyone for joining. If you try any of these protocols, you use the hook of the week, tag us up. We're always excited to see what is happening out there in the classrooms. And we just love our free Thursday night PD, and somebody's going to leave with a free book tomorrow. So definitely keep your eyes peeled open for being tagged over here. Yeah, we still have, man, nobody wants to leave tonight. I think everybody's excited. Well, we hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday. We will let you go and go eat some dinner. And thank you, Jon, again for joining us. We appreciate you so much.
You know where to find me.
Bye, everyone. See you next week. Same place, same time.